Have you ever stopped to wonder if the way you touch yourself today is really what your body needs after 60? Here's the truth. Most men don't even think about this until something goes wrong. Circulation issues, prostate discomfort, loss of sensitivity, even confidence problems in the bedroom. And here's the shocking part. Research shows the majority of older men make the same 3 mistakes when it comes to self-pleasure. Mistakes that silently damage their health, their intimacy, and even their long-term sexual performance. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the 3 most dangerous habits older men fall into when it comes to masturbation, how to avoid them safely while still enjoying intimacy and release, and finally, simple science-backed practices that keep your body strong, your confidence high, and your sexuality alive, even as you age. So if you've ever wondered, am I doing it right? Or am I harming myself without knowing? Stay with me until the very end, because I promise, what you learn today will change the way you think about self-pleasure forever. Let's start by asking a simple but important question. Why are we even talking about this? For many men, especially after 60, the idea of masturbation feels like something they should have figured out decades ago. Some think it's no longer necessary. Others feel guilt or shame, often because society rarely talks about it openly. But here's the truth. Masturbation at this stage of life is not only normal, it can be incredibly important for your health and well-being. Think of it this way. Your body is constantly changing as you age. And just like you wouldn't train at the gym in your 60s the exact same way you trained in your 20s, you also shouldn't expect your intimate routines to stay exactly the same. Biology evolves, and so should your approach. So what's actually happening inside the body? Let's break it down. Skin and sensitivity. As you get older, your skin naturally becomes thinner. The nerve endings that once responded instantly can take longer to wake up. That doesn't mean pleasure is gone. It just means your body now needs more patience and gentleness. Blood vessels and circulation. Blood vessels lose some elasticity with age. This makes proper blood flow more fragile, which is why adapting your technique is so important. Gentle, steady touch actually supports circulation instead of straining it. Hormones and prostate health. Testosterone levels shift and the prostate becomes more sensitive over time. Regular mindful stimulation has been shown to support prostate health, lower stress hormones, and even improve sleep. The big picture? Masturbation isn't just about pleasure. It's about circulation, hormone balance, mental health, and even self-connection. When done the right way, it can be a tool for healing, not harm. And this is why today's conversation matters so much. Because too many men either stop altogether out of fear or continue with old habits that no longer serve their bodies. Both choices can lead to frustration, reduced confidence, and in some cases, even health risks. Here's the empowering part. When you learn to adapt your approach, something powerful happens. Your body feels supported instead of stressed. Your mind relaxes instead of worrying. You begin to rediscover intimacy in a way that actually fits your stage of life. Now that we've set the stage for why this topic matters, let's dive into the first big mistake. And it's one I see all the time in older men. Mistake number 1 is rushing. For many men over 60, self-pleasure is treated like a chore. Something to get over with quickly. Something done in secret, often with a sense of urgency or guilt. And here's the problem. When you rush, your body doesn't actually relax. Instead, it goes into what we call a stress response. Here's what that looks like inside the body. Your nervous system fires up. Your blood vessels constrict. Your heart rate goes up, but not in the good aroused way, more like when you're late for an appointment or stuck in traffic. Your body enters fight or flight, not rest and pleasure. And the result? Arousal decreases, sensitivity reduces, You may even notice difficulty reaching orgasm or feeling satisfied. Over time, this trains your brain to associate touch not with comfort and connection, but with pressure and tension. That's why so many men describe intimacy after 60 as unsatisfying or not like it used to be. It's not because your body is broken, it's because the pace you're using doesn't match your biology anymore. So what's the fix? It's beautifully simple. Slow down. Think about it this way. When you cook a good meal, you don't throw everything into the pan and crank the heat to maximum. You let flavors build, you let heat spread evenly, and you take your time. The same is true for your body. Here are some practical ways to do it. Take 5 extra minutes. Even just slowing down by a few minutes can change everything. Breathe deeply. Inhale slowly, exhale fully. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for relaxation and pleasure. Create presence. Put away distractions. Turn off your phone. Focus on how your body feels instead of rushing toward a finish line. You don't need candles, music, or anything elaborate unless you want them. What matters most is giving your nervous system time to shift from stress to calm. And when that happens, something amazing unfolds. Your blood vessels open up, your sensitivity returns, your mind quiets, and your body starts to respond in a deeper, more satisfying way. The truth is, pleasure after 60 isn't about speed. It's about presence. And presence only happens when you give yourself permission to slow down and experience the moment fully. So the next time you feel tempted to rush, remember, your body isn't asking for speed. It's asking for care. And when you give it that care, you'll find a kind of satisfaction that feels stronger, longer lasting, and more nourishing than you've felt in years. The second mistake many older men make is one that often sneaks up on them without realizing it: using too much pressure. Here's how it usually happens. As men age, their sensitivity naturally begins to decrease. Nerve endings respond more slowly, and what once felt stimulating now requires more intensity to achieve the same effect. So many men instinctively grip harder or move more aggressively. And while this might seem like the simplest solution, over time it can create real problems. Your penis is not built for force. It's made of delicate structures, spongy blood vessels, fragile nerves, and connective tissue designed to expand and respond gently. When you repeatedly apply excessive pressure, 2 things happen: friction and compression. The tissue becomes irritated, blood flow is restricted, and microscopic damage can occur. Over time, this can reduce sensitivity instead of increasing it. Adaptation to pressure. The body learns to only respond to that specific level of grip. This is what's casually called death grip syndrome. It means you might only be able to achieve arousal or orgasm through that intense grip and struggle to feel pleasure with a partner. For many men, this creates a frustrating cycle. You grip harder because you feel less sensation. But the harder you grip, the more your body becomes dependent on that force, and slowly natural sensitivity fades away. The long-term consequences go beyond self-pleasure. Men report reduced intimacy with partners, difficulty sustaining arousal, or even discomfort from inflamed tissue. Some notice soreness, irritation, or tiny skin tears that increase risk of infection and long-term nerve sensitivity loss. So, what's the solution? Fortunately, there's a healthier path forward. Step 1. Loosen your grip. It may feel awkward or less stimulating at first, but this is how you retrain your body to respond to natural touch again. Step 2. Use a natural, unscented lubricant. Lubrication reduces friction, protects delicate tissue, and allows blood flow to remain steady. Think of it less like rubbing and more like gliding. Step 3. Change your mindset. Stop thinking of self-pleasure as something you force and start seeing it as something therapeutic. A way to massage your circulatory system, nurture your nerves, and reconnect with your body. Over time, your sensitivity will improve. You'll rediscover the ability to enjoy touch without extreme pressure. And perhaps most importantly, you'll maintain the ability to connect intimately with a partner without depending on a death grip to feel aroused. Remember, the goal isn't to chase the intensity of your 20s. The goal is to honor your body as it is now. With patience and care, you can bring back pleasure, restore sensitivity, and protect your long-term sexual health. The third mistake most men never expect has nothing to do with their body. It has to do with their mind and emotions. And it's often the most powerful barrier of all. Mistake number 3 is ignoring emotions and shame. Here's something important to understand. Your body and your mind are not separate. Emotional tension always shows up as physical tension. If you carry guilt, worry, or shame, your body reacts. Muscles tighten. Breathing becomes shallow. The nervous system prepares for stress instead of pleasure. And when the body is tense, arousal shuts down. Many men carry guilt from decades ago. Maybe they were told as teenagers that masturbation was dirty, sinful, or something to be ashamed of. Maybe they compare themselves to their younger years and feel like they've lost a step. Or maybe they just feel unsettled by the natural changes that come with age. Whatever the reason, here's the truth. Shame doesn't disappear. It settles. It settles into your muscles, into your breathing patterns, into your nervous system, and ultimately, into your ability to enjoy intimacy. This is why some men can physically touch themselves but still feel disconnected, numb, or dissatisfied. It's not because their body is broken. It's because their emotions haven't been acknowledged. So what's the solution? It starts with compassion. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not past your prime. You are simply in a new phase of life. A phase that asks for more care, more presence, and more intention. Here are some practical steps to begin shifting that emotional energy. Acknowledge the past. If you grew up hearing negative messages about self-pleasure, recognize that those were cultural or religious beliefs, not biological truths. Your body was designed for intimacy and release. Change the narrative. Instead of thinking, "This is shameful," try telling yourself, "This is healthy. This is healing. This is my right as a man." Practice. Kindness. Treat yourself the way you would treat a close friend. With patience, understanding, and care. Reconnect slowly. Don't pressure yourself to perform. Simply focus on touch, breath, and presence. Let connection grow naturally without forcing a result. When you release shame, something profound happens. Your body begins to trust you again. Muscles relax. Blood flow increases. Nerves respond more easily. And intimacy, whether with yourself or with a partner, becomes more fulfilling, more connected, and more human. So remember this. Your sexuality doesn't end at 60, 70, or 80. It simply evolves. And the more compassion you bring to yourself, the stronger and more satisfying that evolution will be. We've talked about the mistakes, now let's focus on the solution. If you want to maintain your sexual health, confidence, and pleasure after 60, you need a safe and mindful routine. Think of it as building healthy habits for intimacy, just like you would for exercise, diet, or sleep. The first step is hygiene. It might sound simple, but it makes all the difference. Always start with clean hands. Wash thoroughly with warm water and mild soap. If you use towels or cloths, make sure they're fresh and dry. Good hygiene not only prevents irritation and infection, it also signals to your mind and body that this is a moment of care, not something to be rushed or hidden. Next, create privacy. This isn't about secrecy, it's about peace. Choose a quiet, undisturbed space where you won't be interrupted. Turn off your phone, close the door, and give yourself permission to focus fully on your body. This is your time. And just like meditation or stretching, it works best when you can truly be present. Now let's talk about lubrication. As you age, your skin becomes thinner and more sensitive. Friction can cause micro tears, irritation, or inflammation. That's why using a gentle, fragrance-free lubricant is one of the best ways to support your body. Lubrication protects delicate tissues, enhances sensation, and helps blood flow remain steady. It transforms the experience from something mechanical into something smooth, therapeutic, and enjoyable. But here's the most important rule of all. Listen to your body. If you feel pain, swelling, tightness, or irritation, don't ignore it. These could be signs of inflammation, circulatory strain, or even a prostate issue. In those cases, stop immediately and talk to a healthcare professional. Remember, self-care means knowing when to rest and when to seek support. Finally, approach the experience as mindful masturbation. This isn't about rushing to an end goal. It's about tuning into your breath, your heartbeat, and your sensations. It's about creating a deeper connection with yourself, one that lowers stress, supports your hormones, and rebuilds confidence. When you treat it like a practice, not a chore, you unlock its healing potential. Men who follow this approach often report better sleep, stronger erections, reduced anxiety, and even improved intimacy with their partners. Because when you feel connected to your body, you naturally show up more confident, relaxed, and present in your relationships. So remember, clean hands, a quiet space, gentle lubrication, and mindfulness. These are not just steps for self-pleasure. They're steps for self-respect. And when you honor your body in this way, it will thank you with more energy, more sensitivity, and more vitality than you thought possible. Your body may be older, but your pleasure, confidence, and health still matter, every single day. So next time you give yourself attention, remember, don't rush, don't use excessive pressure, and don't carry shame. With the right care, self-pleasure after 60 can be a powerful tool for health, healing, and intimacy. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like, comment, and subscribe. And join the Dr. Mia Grant community to access more practical, science-backed insights on how to live a healthier, more confident life.